Happy Tuesday, April 8th. What is it? April 8th? No. April 12th, 2022. I think I wrote 2020 on the check yesterday. I'm not sure, but I think I did. And it's already in the mail, so we'll see what happens. It's hard to keep track. I don't know. It's because I'm getting old, I think. So my wife says, you keep forgetting stuff. I'm like, yeah, I got my mind on a lot of things. And some things aren't important. So I just forget about it. I saw today that as of next week, the city, let's see this straight, whatever, city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is going to reinstitute a mask mandate starting next week. Here we are on set in warm weather. It's going to get warmer, and we're going to have a mask mandate. It's almost like when one thing isn't effective, you know, a narrative of a war in Eastern Europe isn't effective enough to get people to rally around the flag and, you know, follow orders and do everything you're told. When you can't mind control people that way, you got to take them back to the thing you did before. I don't understand why. I mean, warm weather, sunny, it's going to be 70 degrees here today. It's sunny right now. It's going to be really windy. But the sun, vitamin D, why do you think the flu isn't as, prevalent in the warm months? Well, I guess that's just my theory. Maybe there's no truth to it. But you've got a lot of winter months where you get hardly any sun, so you're not outside. Your body produces no vitamin D. So in the summertime, when you're outside and you're getting a lot of that sunlight, you make a lot of vitamin D, and I think that's why you don't get sick as much. And if you do, it's short-lived. You know, in the wintertime, it's like, oh my God, this thing's going on for weeks. I can't get rid of it. But in the summertime, it's like, I just got a cold. And that's basically what happens, you know, around here anyway. It's like, I just got a little cold. A couple days, it's gone. Or I've got allergies. You ever hear that one? I've got allergies. You know, and that very well could be it. But, I mean, when you get sick in the summer, it's like, how many people say, oh, I got the flu. Oh, I got the flu. No, you really don't see that. In the summertime, it's more, I got a cold or I got some allergies because it goes away so quickly. I think it's because of the sun. And you think about it. You know, when the sun gets covered up by clouds, how much of a difference does that make in your, how it feels? It gets chilly and, oh, man. I was at a track meet on Saturday, and the sun was out and it felt great, and then a cloud goes over. It's like, oh, geez, it's cold. So that's the difference. You don't get that sunlight, it's not nourishing the body. If that sunlight doesn't hit the earth, it's not making those seeds grow. The sun. And then you see all, like today, I see all these plane trails blocking out the sunlight. And I think, wow, is this part of a bigger plan? Keep the sun away from us because it actually might help us. Anyway, running off on tangents here. But the point is, we've got a mask mandate. We're about to enter the warm weather. A lot more people are going to be outside. It's going to be sunny. I don't know. I just think it's all propaganda. And they're just trying to whip us up into hysteria after hysteria to keep us living in fear, because if you live in fear, you're much easier to control. I see today we had 8.5% inflation year over year. 8.5% inflation. That's not good. And you know it's a lot more. I talked about it before, and how food prices are absolutely ridiculous. Astronomical. I mean, have doubled in many cases. So, 8.5% inflation. I hope you got an 8.5% raise last year, especially if you're living on Social Security, fixed income. Did it go up 8.5%? Is it going to go up 8.5%? Probably not. You might get maybe 1.5 at the most. So you lose. I was watching one of the ladies on, it was Fox Business this morning. You know, I wanted to see what the inflation rate was. And so I turned on Fox Business. I think I turned on CNBC or MSNBC first, and they had a commercial, you know, some pharmaceutical commercial. So I turned it. At least I tried. You know, don't say that I'm just some right-winger. So I ended up at Fox News Business because they didn't have a commercial on at the time. So I conspiracy theorist watching Fox. So I watched it, and yeah, 8.5%. And the lady comes on and says, 8.5%, and she kind of breaks it down. I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. And she says it's now think about this. You're losing, so you're forced to chase gains. You're forced to take risks. That's exactly what it is. You are forced to take risks in this economy because it does not pay to be, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Legitimate? You're best to be illegitimate. It doesn't pay to be conservative. It doesn't pay to do the right things that you think are the right things. And as she said, it's like, well, you put your money in a CD. What are you going to get at the most? 1.5%? So you're losing 7% because the rate of the money increase and the cost of everything because of that money increase is 8.5%. And you're only getting 1.5% on your money by letting it sit. So by letting your money sit and making a little on it, you're losing a lot. You're losing 7% of your wealth. So you put $100,000 in there. Next year, it's worth $93,000. Doesn't take too many years of that, and you're basically, you're screwed. That's what happens every year. See, inflation's been going way up for a long time because they're creating money, and that's inflation. They just create more money. I saw Powell on 60 Minutes. He says, he was asked, so what do Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Powell, they asked him, so basically you just created a bunch of money. Yeah, you could say that. So where does this money come from? You just print it? And he says, we print it digitally. Digitally. So how much better is it going to be when you're forced to deal with it digitally? I mean, most of the time we are right now. I mean, absolutely are. It's a digital thing. And that's just how it is. I mean, everything you do is digital. And if they have full control of the money, the digital system where they have the central bank digital currencies, and that's all you can transact in, and that's the nightmare scenario. They can do whatever they want with that. Time limits, all full control. Know exactly, they can shut you down at any moment. It's a bad system. Central bank digital currencies are not good. If you're going to get into digital currencies, and some people are going to choose to go full steampunk. I mean, seriously, and what's going to happen is you're just going to say, I'm done. I'm off the grid. I'm just going to trade in chickens. I'm going to trade in silver. I'm going to trade in, whatever, copper pennies, anything of value, seeds, plants, everything, animals, livestock, they're just done. I'm just done. I'm going to go full Amish. Just completely, I'm done. I'm out. And that's what's going to happen. And then you're going to have other people, we're going to, it's the digital world, we got to continue to participate. Things are moving forward. I have kids. They're going to have to live through it. There's nothing I can do about it. That's where I'm at. I'd rather go steampunk. But, you're living in a digital world still, and, I have children. They're going to have to deal with it. And so navigate them through that. And that's basically what I'm doing, is navigating this old system into a new system and trying to, not be a little Luddite, not be that old man that's like, oh, things used to be better back when I was a kid. Everybody thinks that. And there's massive change that happens in every generation. You could have stuck to the horse and, where would we be at that point? Maybe better off. I don't know. But, everything changes and you just have to adapt to it and try to use the tools for good, not evil. So if we're going all digital, my point is you better have sound digital money. Don't have something that they create, because it's going to be the same thing that they do now. They're just going to create it, and they're going to create it out of nothing and continue to flood the monetary system with it. But this time they'll have a greater level of control. Right now you can have cash, and it's pretty much anonymous. You can take that anywhere you want and then buy whatever you want with it. That's the way it should be. But in the digital, if everything's digital, everything is tracked and traced. Everything is scrutinized. You're going to go buy a bottle of alcohol, and guess what? You bought too many this month. We're going to shut you down. We're putting a limit on it. So you go and buy that next bottle, and they're going to say, nope, done. Same smoking. You can't get any cigars this month. You've already purchased 15, 20 of them. No more than that. And so they can put limitations on stuff. and not let you buy it. You think of the food stamp, what do they call it? The WIC, Women and Children, or I don't know what it's called. The food stamp program. You know, it's not food stamps anymore. So they basically load it onto a card, and you can go buy food with it. And the stores know. You try and pay for a bottle of liquor with it, and it won't ring up. You know, so you got $100 worth of stuff and a $20 bottle of alcohol. You know, $80 worth of food. You spend that $100. It says, okay, it's $100. You take your card, you know, your food stamp card, and swipe it, and only 80 comes off for the food, and you still got to pay the 20. So it knows already. The system already, you know, it's just code. And so they can program whatever they want. So imagine when all your money's that way. Everything you do is that way. And then you have, you know, some politicians that sit up there and they say, well, you know, just like in New York and several other cities, maybe in Philadelphia, get back to them. But you have them in cities, well, you're not going to be able to get the 44-ounce cup of soda. You know, the most you can get is a 28-ounce. And so you buy 2 28 ounces, and now you're drinking more. But, you know, just because it's for your own good. And so they won't it's not going to have to be mandated at the store level to where there are no more 44-ounce cups. No, I mean, you can have whatever you want, and they'll just not let you buy it. We're just going to shut it down. You know, we'll just use the algorithm on you and say, you know what? You're entering risky behavior territory, and you've had too much of this month, or too much of that, and over a period of time, over the last 6 months, your running average of, you know, Big Macs is such and such. And, well, you know, you can't have this one. You know, and although they'll probably promote that, you know, that'll be fine. That'll be considered healthy food and nourishing and good for the soul and spirit and good for, you know, your mindset. But it doesn't matter. The fact is they have control of the money, especially when it becomes 100% digital. So you better get digital money. If you're going to go into this digital age, you better get digital money you can control and hold in your own possession. Better be looking at Litecoin. Better be looking at Bitcoin, which is way overvalued compared to Litecoin. So, I mean, if you want a better value for your energy, I think Litecoin is a better thing to look at. Long term, I will be proven right that it is sound money for the digital age. Digibyte, quick, fast. I mean, it's a blazing fast technology, so it'll come into its own. It's just, you know, further behind. It's like Litecoin's further behind Bitcoin. Digibyte's a little further behind Litecoin. So it's, you know, they've been running for 10.5 years, Litecoin, and Digibyte over 8 years. Not 8.5 yet, but over 8 years. So digital money that's been around, you can hold in your possession, you can hold it in your own wallet, do whatever you want with it. No banks involved, no governments involved. Done. That's what you want to get into, because at some point you're going to be gateway and you're not going to be able to get into it. And that's how it's going to be. But the digital world, here's an example. My daughter went to a restaurant on Sunday, I guess it was. They had a robot seat them. Excuse me. Yawning in the sun. Is that an old wives' tale? What is that? But a robot seated her and her companion. Sat down at the here and said something like, here, follow me this way. And so it goes to bad joke there that I'm not going to tell. It was at a Japanese restaurant. Follow me this way. I don't know how it said it, how it pronounced it, but that was the gist of it. So anyway, they go to the table and they sit down, and I guess a real person actually came and took the order. And then the robot brought the food out. And so here, take your food, enjoy. And then the robot goes away. So it's just, I don't know, it's interesting when you see that. I mean, how far are we from just being impersonalized and being fully robotic, and entering that machine state, that high-tech state, which can go bad, really bad. You seen those robot dogs? Holy cow, you got an army of those things with some weaponry attached. Ooh, it's just bad. I mean, it really is. And, and all the drones. And, I mean, it could be a very Terminator-style world very easily. But then on the other hand, you look at it, I mean, there's a lot of things. It could be that George Jetson, Rosie the Robot. Is it Rosie the Robot? I don't know. Rosie the Riveter. I'm not sure which one it is. But, the robot. you know, serving all the food up and taking care of things. And, you know, so that's, you know, looking at the yard thinking, you know, I need a Roomba out here, you know, a Roomba mower, and just goes out and, you know, and cuts it by itself. But you think about the automation that can occur. The tractors that they come out here and they plow the fields with, and they are basically the planting and the harvesting tractors. They're all GPS located. I mean, they know down to the inch. They know how much, you know, per square foot, per acre, you know, how much they're yielding in real time. They basically don't even have to drive it much anymore. They just kind of sit in there and the GPS takes care of it. And, you know, the human is just kind of the fail safe just in case, you know, the code's wrong or something fails. But at some point, you know, you're going to be eliminating human beings from a lot of positions because of technology. And that is a digital world. And I think, okay, how much of a leap would it have been if you can take the order? Okay, so my daughter goes in the restaurant. She's got an app. Now, they can have a little tabletop thing, you know, the touch screen that you can order, you know, for somebody who doesn't have the app. Or you come in, you download the app. It's like, hey, get $5 off your meal. Download the app. Oh, here's the app. I want to order this. And as long as it's programmed right, and it's got all the features, you know, where you can add, I want extra this, that, you know, whatever it is, you know, and it accounts for that. The order gets put in. The little robot comes back with your drinks. You take your drinks, set them down, you know, brings your appetizer back. You take it off the tray, and then your meal comes. You know, the robot stands there. Would you like anything else? Do you have any problems? You know, and you could talk into the robot or even call for help on the app, you know, talk to a real person. And maybe that's seeing things. It's the wind blowing things around today. But then you're done and you come back and you can just pay. You pay directly on the app. You don't even need somebody to come back. As long as you're happy and satisfied. And you're left alone, essentially. You know, you don't have somebody bothering you and walking up and saying, oh, how's your dinner, sir? As you're chewing and you get a mouthful of stuff. So, I mean, it's good and it's bad, I guess. You know, some people like that human interaction, and I know people that just like to go and flirt with the waitress, and it's just awkward and yeah, unhealthy. And then, you know, there's people like me. I'm just kind of like, you know what, I just want to get my food. I just want to sit down, I want to relax, I don't want to be bothered, and, you know, that's nice, you know, sometimes to interact with people and do your thing, but there are sometimes it's like, you know, you're just here, not here for the conversation, okay? And some people just take it too far and just hover. So, I mean, you see it both ways, or maybe you get a choice. Hey, I want the human server, or I want the fully robotic experience, you know, and it's up to you. And maybe there's a different cost for either one of those. But that's kind of the world we're entering, and it's just interesting to me. The other thing is, you know, we're speaking of drones and automated stuff. I see that in China they have drones that fly up to people's high-rises. I know you feel like you're losing your freedom, but you need to stay quarantined. You know, you don't want to make anyone sick. And you've got these drones, you know, like mind control policing people. With technology, that kind of stuff can happen. I mean, you're full Black Mirror on some of the stuff. There's a couple of Black Mirror episodes where the drones, you know, if you're trying to hide and you're a criminal, they'll come get you. You know, and they're like bees or something, you know, weaponized darts. And it can get to that point because the technology's at that point and there's unlimited money. They can create anything they want in black budgets. And here it comes. So, I mean, it is kind of scary in a way that it could go that route. So we just have to be constantly thinking about how devious a turn technology could take on us and trying to not use it for that and try to prevent that from happening. So, I don't know, lots of thoughts there. It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday. It's not even Thursday. I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's Tuesday. I'm going to have a special visitor here. Mitch and I are going to, maybe we'll make a video. But someone special in the Litecoin community is going to be showing up and spending some time with us. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have much more to say. Just a brave new world we're entering here, and just be prepared. Again, I always say, you know, you got to trust yourself. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of messaging. A lot of people want you to think a certain way, and they try and steer you that way and propagandize you that way. Don't let them do that. Be secure in who you are and know what the truth is. Take deep breaths. Go outside at night, and if you can see the stars, you know, which a lot of people, I realize they can't. They live in areas where they don't even see the stars. If you can, just go out there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take some deep breaths, and just relax. Everything's going to be fine. Trust yourself. You know what the truth is more than anyone else. So find that happy place. Find that place where you can relax and reconnect with yourself so that you can be calm and then realize, yeah, I know what to do. Okay, that's the right decision. And then move forward with it. Because I trust me. You should trust you over anybody else. All right. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Tuesday, the 12th of April. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.